Hello and welcome to our channel, Top 10s You Should Know. Let me ask you this. Have you ever walked away from a conversation or meeting thinking, why didn't they take me seriously? You had the ideas, the answers, maybe even the solution, but somehow your voice didn't land. Sometimes all it takes to shift how the world sees you is to change a few small words. So today we're revealing the top 10 words to stop saying if you want to be taken seriously. Words that, if removed, can unlock your presence, your clarity, and your power. Let's dive in. Just. The word just is one of the most common and most disempowering words we unconsciously use. I just wanted to ask. I just think that. It may seem polite or soft, but what it really does is minimize your voice. It shrinks your statement, like you're apologizing for speaking. Imagine you're in a room full of confident people. When you say, I just think maybe, it comes off like you're unsure, even if your idea is solid, and people pick up on that energy instantly. But when you delete just, your tone becomes assertive. I wanted to check in, or I believe this is the right direction. Sounds like someone who owns their space. It doesn't mean being aggressive. It means being intentional. Try this experiment. Reread your last 5 emails or texts and remove every just. You'll be surprised how much more powerful and clear you sound. And more importantly, so will everyone else. 2. Sorry, when you haven't done anything wrong. Saying sorry when you're genuinely wrong is noble. It's kind. It shows maturity. But here's the problem. Most of us overuse sorry when we've done nothing wrong. We say sorry for asking questions, for needing help, for showing up late by 30 seconds, or even just for speaking. And what that does is send the message that we don't feel worthy of taking up space. It makes us appear hesitant, submissive, or overly apologetic. Saying, sorry I'm late, can often be replaced with, thanks for waiting. Saying, sorry to bother you, can become, do you have a moment? Shifting from apology to gratitude changes the tone from insecure to confident. We have to stop apologizing for existing, for having thoughts, for needing support. Because when you carry sorry everywhere, it starts to blur the moments when an actual apology is needed. You deserve to speak, to be heard, and to make mistakes without constant self-blame. Save sorry for when it really counts, and let your voice be free the rest of the time. 3. I think. We've all said it. I think this might be the right way, or I think it's a good idea. But here's the catch. Saying I think instantly softens your authority. It suggests that you're unsure or that you lack confidence in your own insight. And the world mirrors that energy back to you. I think creates distance between you and your opinion. But when you're trying to make an impression, lead a room, or pitch an idea, you need to own your voice. Imagine saying, this is the best approach based on the data, or this strategy aligns with our goals. Even if you do think it, you don't need to say it. You can still leave space for feedback without sounding unsure. You're allowed to speak with strength, even if your voice shakes a little at first. And the more you practice removing I think, the more seriously people will take what you have to say. 4. Like, as a filler word. Like, when used as a filler, is one of the most overused words in casual conversation, especially among younger speakers. So I was trying to explain, and she was like, no way. And while it's a natural habit, the issue is that it chips away at your credibility. Every time you say like, your audience loses a bit of focus. Your message feels scattered, immature, or unprepared, even when it's not. Now, that doesn't mean you can't be yourself. But if you're in a situation where your voice matters, like a presentation, interview, or serious conversation, filler words can dilute your power. The antidote? Silence. Pause instead of filling the space. Breathe. Let your words land. People who speak with thoughtful pauses are often seen as more mature, focused, and intelligent. So next time you catch yourself saying a like, don't judge yourself. Just gently replace it with a pause. Your words will hit harder, and your presence will rise. 5. Maybe is the vocabulary of uncertainty. When you say, maybe we could do this, or maybe it's a good idea, it feels like you're dipping a toe in instead of stepping in with purpose. Of course, we don't always have to be forceful or commanding, but maybe often makes you sound unsure, even when you're not. It's a verbal hedge, a way of protecting ourselves from rejection or disagreement. But here's the thing. If you want to be seen as a leader, a decision maker, or someone others can trust, you've got to speak with intention. Replace maybe with I suggest, let's try, or this is an option worth considering. These phrases still invite collaboration, but they show that you've thought it through. You're not throwing an idea at the wall, you're presenting something with confidence. In a world full of indecision, clarity is power. 6. Actually. Believe it or not, actually can sound condescending, especially when correcting someone. Actually, it's pronounced. Or, actually, I already sent that email. It may feel harmless, but it often puts people on the defensive. Even when you're right, the word can trigger ego and resistance. Instead, drop it. Say what you mean directly. It's pronounced, or I sent that yesterday. Confident people don't need to sound smarter than you. They speak facts, not flexes. And that subtle change earns respect, not resentment. 7. Hopefully. Hopefully signals uncertainty. And while hope is beautiful, it has no place in strong decision-making language. Hopefully this works out sounds passive. It puts power in fate, not your hands. Leaders, professionals, and people who want to be taken seriously speak with action and intent. Say, I expect this to work, or we're prepared to make it work. That shift from hoping to owning your outcome changes how people hear you and how you hear yourself. 8. Kind of, sort of. I kind of know this software. I sort of manage the team. These phrases weaken your role, your skills, and your value. Unless you're describing a pizza topping, sort of and kind of don't belong in your professional voice. Be firm. Say, I led a team of 5, or I'm proficient with this tool. Your experience is valid. Your impact is real. Don't shrink it with vague language. The world won't see your worth until you do, and communicate it clearly. 9. Whatever. Whatever is the verbal equivalent of an eye roll. It shuts down communication, shows disinterest, and signals that you're emotionally disengaged. When you say, whatever, it might feel like you're avoiding conflict, but in reality, you're avoiding clarity. If you disagree, say so with respect. If you're done with the conversation, express that maturely. Serious people value clarity over passiveness. Whatever doesn't make you cool, it makes you forgettable. 10. I'm not an expert, but. When you preface your idea with, I'm not an expert, you're already discrediting yourself. Even if what follows is brilliant, you've planted a seed of doubt in everyone's mind, including your own. Confidence doesn't require perfection or a PhD. If you have a thought, share it with conviction. Try saying, here's one perspective, or based on what I've seen. That slight shift lets your voice be heard without undermining it. You don't need to be the expert to speak with confidence. You just need to stop apologizing for your voice. There you have it. 10 simple words or phrases that might be silently holding you back from being taken seriously. Let us know in the comments below. And if you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you never miss another video from Top 10s You Should Know.